We have God Indigo versus Oso the Poet. Man, this is about to be a crazy one. I can't wait for this one. When I say this one about to be amazing, this was about to be amazing. So look, I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourself. God Indigo, we're gonna start with you. Tell them who you are and where you're from and what team you represent.
What up? Yeah, I'm Brandon Basile, aka God Indigo, aka Brandon the Poet, aka a bunch of other shit. Yeah, I'm coming out of Southern VA, South Hill, repping Richmond, VA, and Durham, North Carolina. Shout out to NC, we out here. Yeah, and I'm repping the diagnosis team, cause we see the sickness in all of y'all. We'll be here to fix it though.
Talk spicy. Talk spicy. I like it. We're gonna go the next poet. Tell the people who you are, where you're from, and what team you represent.
Whoa, hey everybody. My name is Oso, the Poet, also known as Ontario Smith, and I'm hailing from the great state of Louisiana, Shreveport as a matter of fact. And I am so grateful and so honored to be upon y'all today. I represent bold words, the reason being because we make bold moves, and in the process, which is so indicative.
With Oso, you're a first round pick, Oso. You know, I have to give you the just do and everything, so it's gonna go with you. Heads or tails?
Heads, of course.
Okay, we gonna get into it. Let's see what it lands on. It is heads. Who do you want to go first?
I like my opponent to go first.
Okay, let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let's go ahead and transfer to the next screen and let's see what Brandon, the God Indigo, got.
All right, my name is God Indigo. I'm repping Virginia, and I'm repping the diagnosis team. Name of this poem is Guardian. I didn't be easy. That was what I said to this white girl I worked with when she was leaving. She was a sexy snow bunny, and sometimes she would laugh at my jokes, so I guess she thought I was funny. But when finally she was, trust me, she could always take my money. She was about 5'2", and to this job she was kind of new, but this white girl had booty too. She would walk around the store in them jeans that's blue, and I'd be blowing under my breath sounds and breathe like, ooh. But I heard she was married to some punk boy who would whoop her ass. I heard old dude was crazy as hell, and he went to jail. But I still cracked his jaw like glass. Kanye West, old dude, to have his mouth locked up like Akon. I may end up Akon, but shit, I'll be all right. Okay, so Shorty was leaving, and so like usual, I said, be easy. Then I went back to doing what I was doing before, and the coworker tapped me on the shoulder and said, yo, Shorty forgot a hat. I was like, all right, cool, I'll take it to her and be right back. I walked outside. Her old bitch of a dude was in the truck. It looked like they was arguing, so I started thinking, what would I do if you hit her? It ain't my business, or should I play the back, act like I ain't seen nothing and just give her a hat? Or should I help her? What would be the reason for that? Because I want to be a hero or just because I know what's right? I decide to help you if you hit her, so I should be prepared for a fight. The closer I got to the car, it seemed like their argument got more and more furious. It was nighttime and the storm was tearing up the sky. And when I seen no dude cock his hand back and hit that girl, I about wanted to cry. Wanted to take her hand and fly away from this guy. So I ran over to her side and pulled her out of the car, but I couldn't get her away far because he had grabbed her by the arm and said, come back here, bitch. I said, dude, you's a bitch. Treated her like a trick. That's how you handle a woman like this. She brought you kids to the world. You still treat her like shit. She said, B, forget it. I love him. I said, you don't love that prick. He said, that's my bitch, and I'll treat her like a bitch. Don't be trying to be a hero and get your ass beat. Get your ass back in there and pass out that beef. I said, my dude, this here is Bojangles, and we sell chicken, bitch. But I got to admit, by now I was scared of shit. And much as I tried to be hard, this was going to be a big guy to beat. He looked like he could eat about 5'4" or 3 of me. Most dudes ain't got heart like me, but I'm still a little nigga. Might got a big head and all, but I'm still a little nigga. But I couldn't think for too long. This dude drew his fist back, and I heard lightning strike, and I was on the ground. I got up and we began to fight as darkness was parking like well, the storm filtered with light, visibility blinking in and out like a strobe light with every blow of the fight. Somehow I got in a couple of good hooks and he ended up stumbling and hitting his head on his trunk. He left a streak of red that he slid down to the ground. Since he didn't make a sound, I just knew he wasn't going to get up. So I grabbed the hand and walked away, but I still couldn't get far though because he had reached in his car door and grabbed his gun off the floor. I leaped at him. We began to tussle over the guns. He screamed, "Stop, stop." Me and him both had hands on the gun. And we yanked his way and he yanked the mine, tug of war from side to side. We need to hurry up and end this and get inside. Now, I just want y'all to understand, I was just trying to be a man and take a stand. Because next thing I knew, all I heard was blam. My main man went slam, banging on the counter. Stop daydreaming. Shorty left a hat. Could you take it to her? Poem.
Whoa. All praises to the Most High. Coming out the great state of Louisiana, Shreveport to be exact. I am also the poet, also known as Ontario Smith. And what I like to present to you is a poem called Fact and Not Fiction. I was born underwater with $3 and 6 dimes. Experiencing life in the times of beats and rhymes, feeling the warmth of the sun as I look into a pair of eyes that were just like mine. But in a flash of light, what I saw was out of sight. For time has stood still, it has taken its toll. Neither effervescent nor predestined, but you see, I was called to stand for a crime against this land. Man, the slug from a judge brought tears to my eyes, because I flatly refused to compromise. Now I'm doing 85 or 45. You figured I had 9 lives. Sadly said, I was just living amongst the dead. For daily, I would view brothers old as my dad boasting about what Lil Wayne said, but in the same breath, they were crying for another chance. Come on, man, this thing is real. Them folks ain't playing. Instead, they are praying that you continue gaming yourselves while they build more jails by abusing the multi-bill. Ladies and gentlemen, also the poet is kicking all fact and not fiction. Allow me to travel and dabble in your mind state. From back around 88 to the present day, for the urban community has been shook up by many social quakes like Reaganomics, Planned Parenthood, Just Say No, the hip-hop invasion to AIDS, Rodney King and O.J. Simpson. Ladies and gentlemen, also the poet is kicking all facts and not fiction. A democracy. A democracy is what we live under, but isn't reciprocity supposed to be more than just a 40-year gesture to the African community? Allow me to proceed. It's given to foreigners and refugees who smuggle themselves across the seas with a sensory plea to live tax-free, limitedly, for a 5-year spree. Check the consensus. We're no longer the majority of the minority, so clearly I see us being winged out by the hierarchy to the point of being extinct, either through natural life sentences or waging wars in our communities, only to die senselessly in the street before completing the season of our 20s. Ladies and gentlemen, be conscious, get conscious, and stay conscious. For everything that also the poet has kicked to you has been all fact and not fiction. Thank you.
Y'all already know what it is. Hey, that was a fire match from Guy Indigo and also the poet. Man, we're gonna get straight to it, man. We're gonna get straight to these numbers, man. Look. Let me start with Cupcake first. Cupcake, go ahead and tell me your stories and tell me what you thought about this match real quick.
First, let me say I thought both of you fellas were fire. Do your thing. I'm surprised the smoke alarms wasn't going off. Yeah.
Okay. Man, let's go ahead and get straight to God Indigo. What did you give him for penmanship?
I gave him a 4.
Okay, what did you give him for impact?
A 5.
What did you give him for believability?
Unfortunately, I'm hoping that wasn't something that happened to him. So a 3,
What about substance?
a 4,
What about delivery?
a 5.
A 5. Okay, okay, good score, good score. And that score, that's a 21. That's a 21. Okay, let's get with Also the Poet. What did you give him for penmanship?
A 5.
A 5? Okay, okay. What did you give him for impact?
A 5.
Okay, what did you give him for believability?
I'll go and give him a 4.
Okay, substance.
A 5.
And for delivery?
A 4 because it just felt a little dragging to me, but that's just me. Um, what he was talking about, I felt could have a little more passion and um, just fullness. So just think about that. I still appreciate what you delivered, but just think about, how you deliver it.
Okay, okay, okay. Those some positive words from Cupcake. We're gonna go to Zoe Zion. Zoe Zion. Tell me what you thought about these poets, and we're gonna get into these scores.
I like both poems. I like the storytelling on the first one, and I like the concept of the second one. But yeah, they both was
Okay,
fire.
okay, okay. Both poets on fire. We gonna go ahead and get into these scores. We're gonna go with God Indigo first. What do you give them for penmanship?
I give him a 4.
For impact?
I give him a 5.
For believability?
I give a 4.
For substance?
A 4.
For delivery?
A 4.
Okay, we got some points. So in total that is another 21. 21 for God Indigo. So boom, let's go with Also the Poet. What do you have for penmanship for Also?
A 5.
Oh, 5. Impact,
A 4.
believability,
A 5.
for substance,
A 5.
for delivery.
A 4.
Okay, and that is a total score of a 23. Hey, 223s. Hey, y'all be thinking the same thing. Hey, it's amazing. Okay, okay. So let's get into Be Rich. Be Rich, he had some note. He said he loved the storytelling, and he was saying, look, it's crazy at the end. He was talking about he was daydreaming, so all of it was a mirage. He was daydreaming, so it really didn't happen. So man, I'm glad that he caught that part. But he was saying he gave him a 4 for penmanship. He gave him a 5 for impact. He gave a 5 for believability, and he gave a 4 for substance, and he gave a 5 for delivery. So with his total score is 23. Okay, good job, Be Rich. Be Rich. He said for Also, he was talking his ish. He was talking knowledge. You have to listen to what he was saying. Hold on, let me. Hey, and he said a lot of y'all didn't get what he was talking about. He said that brother was deep. So let's go ahead and get into the scores. Be Rich. So Be Rich. He said for penmanship, you had for penmanship. Let me go. For penmanship, he gave you a 5. For impact, he gave you a 5. For believability, he gave you a 3. For substance, he gave you a 5. And for delivery, he gave you a 3. So, and that said, your score is from him. It is 21. 21 for Be Rich. Now let's get into my scores. Let me go to we're gonna go with God Indigo. Let's bring up TK the Poet real quick. TK the Poet. What do you have for God Indigo? Well, for God Indigo, man, he did one of my favorite pieces, man. So, it's amazing. I like the storytelling, the detail that's in it, everything about it. So, yeah, I'm gonna give him my score. So for penmanship, I gave him a 5. For impact, I gave him a 5. For believability, I gave him a 5. For substance, I gave him 5, and for delivery, I gave him a 5. So from all, look, from me, he got a good 25 from me, man. So look, man, look, he got a good 25. I look, he was awesome. It was fire. The way he stood up and delivered it, the way he engaged into the camera, man. Look, that brother was fire, man. Straight up to him, man. Look, I like the performance. Like I said, I like the energy. He came with it. So my score for also, I gotta give him a 5 for penmanship. I gotta give him a 4 for impact. I gotta give him a 3 for believability. And for substance, I gave him a 4. And for delivery, I gave him a 3. So in my total score, he got a 19. And the reason why I gave you a 3 in delivery and 3 in believability is because even though the words was there, I just didn't feel it. Even though, you know, the words were great, the words was awesome, I couldn't just feel it. Like, okay, you were saying some powerful things, but it just didn't translate to me, like, you know, the emotions, or, you know, it was all like straightforward. So I need a little levels in the poetry to captivate my feelings, my thoughts, and to sway me into another direction. So so my total score is a 19 for Also the Poet. So let's tally up these scores and let's see what they got. Hey man, fire match. We're gonna get into these scores real quick. Man, we got Guy Indigo from Diagnosis, and we got Also the Poet from Bold Words. Man, we in the building. That was a high level match. So we're gonna get into the scores, and we're gonna tally up and see who came up on top. So first we got TK the Poet, gave him a 25. Zoe Zahn gave him a 21. Cupcake gave him a 21 as well. And B Rich gave him a number of 23. So we're going to get into it. He got a good score of 90. 90 for God Indigo. God Indigo with a 90. Now let's get with Also the Poet. Now, like I said, a lot of people, they're going to get mad at my scores and stuff like that, but I have to nitpick. This is to improve poetry and poets, so I'm gonna have to nitpick. I can't just give everybody 5 and stuff like that. So I had to do a little nitpicking. So we're gonna get into the score. So my score, I gave him a 19. For Zoe Zahn, she gave him a 23. Cupcake gave him a 23, and B Rich gave him a 21 with the total score of 86. Man, that was a close match, 4 points away. That was a close match. That was fire. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Guy Indigo. Man, look, you had a high score of 90. Tell me how you feel.
I'm good. I'm happy. I'll take that. I'll take that. It was a good show, good turn up. I will say the energy from the other brother did kind of keep me up too, though, for real. It was a good time. Happy to be here. PoetryLife League, we're gonna keep it rocking on. Thank y'all for having me.
No doubt. I'm finna bring up Also the Poet. Talk to me nice. What's going on? So you had a high score of 86, man. How you feel about your score?
Man, I feel great. More importantly, I feel great just having the opportunity to compete, as well as I'd be remiss if I didn't say congratulations to my opponent for such a great poem. And look forward to future matches. But trust me, I'll see you again, homie. Yeah, big shout out to my state, Louisiana. Definitely my city, Shreveport. Mom, pops, all my kids. Make sure you go on Amazon and cop my book, A Poet Speaks, Words Defined by Time, now on Amazon. Again, it was an honor and a privilege. See y'all again. Peace.
life and legacy of Alley Poetry. Today we are gathered in spirit and sorrow to honor one of our own, the unforgettable, irreplaceable Alley Poetry. A pillar of PoetryLife League, a devoted wife, a loving mother, a soul who carried the weight of the world with grace, fire, and wisdom. Allie wasn't just a poet, she was poetry in motion. Every word she wrote had a purpose. Every verse she had reflect of love and pain and joy and truth that she carried inside. Her pain just touched the paper, it touched hearts. She had a way of seeing the world that made us just pause and reflect and feel deeply. Her words made us better. Her spirit made us stronger. As a wife, she loved fiercely with loyalty, laughter, and tenderness. As a mother, she doesn't give her children only life, she gave them guidance and encouragement and an example of strength and compassion. And as a friend, a sister, and a poet, she uplifted everyone that crossed her path. There was something rare about her, a presence that you just didn't notice, you felt. Allie was one of the original voices of the Red Dragons. Her poetry brought heat, honesty, healing to the mic. And every time she spoke, she just didn't do it for the fame. She didn't just perform for the applause. She did it because she had to. Because the truth was in her and it was too powerful for it to stay silent. So the loss hit a little bit different. It cut deep. And it's hard to find the words when someone leaves this earth. But even in our grief, we remember Allie's story. It isn't over. Her legacy will live in her children, in her husband, in her poems that she shared, in every heart that she moved. We will continue to speak her name. We will celebrate her art. We will honor and love that she had gave to us, the battle she fought, and the light that she had shed on this world. And through her seat is might be empty, but her presence will ever fill our spaces. Rest in peace, Queen. We love you and we miss you. And we will never forget you. PoetryLife League.